everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Holly. Today I am so excited to talk to you guys about one of my very favorite Montessori principles, and that is freedom within limits. Giving your children freedom within limits is something that I find very important and is one of the most basic principles that I have in my home, and is something that I strive to do and keep in mind every single day with my kids. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and they are definitely always pushing those limits, right? They are like trying to do new things and learn and grow and explore and be creative and like live their lives. But then you also have to be able to have those limits, because otherwise I'm gonna go crazy, they're not gonna be safe, different things like that. So it's striking a balance from being very permissive to being very authoritarian and authoritative. And so this way you're able to truly find that balance. And I think if you can keep this idea and thought in mind, it will be very helpful. And at least it's been very helpful for me. So I'm going to go through some of the different principles and things that have helped me implement freedom within limits in my home, and hopefully will help you do it in yours. So the very first thing I want to talk about is being preemptive in your limit setting. So if you find your child is really pushing your buttons, is really pushing the limit that you are like trying to set, you need to be preemptive before you get angry, before you're like, and explode, right? Because I think that's what often happens, is like they push the limit too far and then we get upset or explode, or there's a huge mess, and it's a big problem. So you just need to make sure that your limit setting is preemptive. So if you find that you are starting to get upset or starting to get angry about something, or things are not going quite the way you'd want them to, hi. Sorry about that. So you need to recognize that within yourself, and then set that limit and say, sorry, I won't let you do that right now. I won't let you throw that sand. I won't let you throw, those toys or whatever. Like, set that limit, and like that is it. And that goes right into my next suggestion, which is be very, very consistent. Kids are all about consistency and order. They know when you're not being consistent. They know when you will give in. So you need to set those ground rules and be very consistent about it. Something that I think would be very beneficial if you have a little bit of older children is being able to go through with them and make family rules and say, these are our house family rules, and let them know, like, okay, these are our standards, and this is like what I can and cannot do, right? We all need to be safe. So if the kids are doing something that puts them or another child in jeopardy, you can say, hey, are we being safe? Like, this is our family rule, and are staying within that limit. I also think it's very important to see things from your child's perspective. Toddlers and kids, they are just trying to learn and explore and test the world around them, right? They're not trying to upset you or hurt others or do different things that are damaging. Like, they are just trying to live their little lives the best and like happiest they can be, right? And so seeing things from their perspective can oftentimes give me a new perspective and really see where they're coming from, what they're trying to achieve, different things like that. So I'm going to show you some different examples of things that we do in our home, and different examples of freedoms, like giving your children the room to explore and grow and be creative, but also doing it in a safe way that's also not going to drive you crazy, So my toddler right now loves spitting. I don't know what it is. He's like in a spitting phase where he just thinks it's a lot of fun to spit. And I think it's really gross, and we all think it's really gross. And so instead of just telling him, you can't spit, right? I think that is our first reaction, and gut reaction is like, don't spit, stop spitting. That can really hinder them, and they're going to keep on wanting to do it because like that's like the phase that they're in. They're like really trying to figure out spitting. And so something that we have implemented and said is, I won't let you spit here, but you can spit in the sink, because it's actually a great skill to be able to brush your teeth and then like spit in the sink afterwards, right? Like, that's totally normal thing. So recognizing that's like, hey, like if you want to spit, go spit in the sink, or if he's in the bathtub, we let him spit in the bathtub. And this way he is able to explore that without bugging us so much. So it's giving him those freedoms within limits. And I'm not going to say like this is perfect. It's not like he has like stopped spitting altogether and only spits in the sink. No, I am like still having to tell him like, hey, remember, we don't spit here, like we spit in the sink. It's not like going to be a foolproof thing, because kids are kids, right? But I think it's just is a lot more helpful to be able to tell him not just no, but like, you can do this when it's okay, you know, like in this setting. And so same thing with hitting. I think most children go through a hitting phase where they are just like wanting to hit. And so obviously it's not okay to hit other people. And you say, if you want to hit, you can hit this pillow, right? And so you're giving them that freedom, like just within those limits. Another example that I love to use is helping kids get dressed in the morning. So they love to get dressed and pick out their own outfits and choose what they want to wear. And so I have my children's clothes laid out for my 3-year-old. My 1-year-old doesn't care so much. My 3-year-old likes to pick. So I have his shirts and his pants together and he can choose what he wants. I just make sure that I give him the clothes that are going to be appropriate for the weather outside. But he's not going to be picking something that is too out of the norm for the weather because I've already set those limits, and then he can have the freedom to pick and choose what he wants to wear. All right, so I know that this was a shorter video, but I just really wanted to explain freedom within limits to you guys and hopefully give you some different examples, some helpful things. If you have a question down below about how you would use this with a specific scenario that you have, let me know. I would love to answer it and brainstorm with you, see if we can come up with something that works in giving those kids those freedom within limits. And if you'd like to see more, I think I'm going to turn this into a series, just going through some different principles of Montessori, sitting down and really like talking through them and explaining them. And so if that sounds interesting to you, please remember to like and subscribe, and I would love to have you guys join my channel. But I hope you all have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching. Bye.